So we are back, and these two are actually just going at it. I'm talking about neck to neck at each other's throats. And yo, it's really embarrassing. So Jacayla came and she basically dumped all of Sky's belongings in the front yard. So Jacayla is like, you know what? Since I'm such a bad parent and you're the only person that does no wrong, then how about you take Sky then? Since I'm a bad parent and you want to get custody of her, then fine, I'll save you the trouble. Jacayla is really calling James's bluff, but Jacayla is feeling like she's really hurt right now. And y'all, look at baby Sky. So baby Sky is back here watching her parents just argue. She doesn't know what's really going on, but she can, you know, babies can sense when there's some disruption, when there's some anger and stuff involved. And yo, who is this? Sir, can you leave? Bro, can you take you and your mustache? Yeah, thanks. James is trying to walk away from her, but Jacayla is not going to have it. So she's actually finna go over here and shove James. Jacayla is really hurt. Yes, she did what she did. Okay, she did what she did, and she has broken James's heart one too many times herself. And now she's gotten a dose of her own medicine and she doesn't like it at all. Jacayla is really hurt by the fact that she caught, or rather she saw, because there's nothing to really catch, she saw James and Leia. I think though what hurts the most is the fact that James told her that, you know, she was a flat out bad parent. Like that hurts. That's below the belt. Like, how could you say the mother of your child is a bad parent, or rather she doesn't deserve to be a parent, and then you're trying to take away her child from her? Like, really, James? Are you really that mean of a person? And let's not forget how violent he is. So Jacayla is really just calling him out. Jacayla's like, you know what, you can have Sky, here she is. And James is really pissed off at the fact that, yo, she came here like super early with all this mess, dumping all of Sky's items on the floor and just being so irresponsible. Really and truly though, James is suffering from a huge hangover from the previous night, but James is really trying to put Jacayla in her place. Like, come on. James is like, yo, you're the one that got pregnant and you didn't tell me anything until I went off to the military, and then I came back and I tried it with you. I tried to co-parent with you. I lived under the same roof with you, and it didn't work out. And then I come back and you're sitting up here, you know, having this other dude over, like the other dude, Marcel, the dude that you cheated on me with. Like, how are you out of your freaking mind right now? And she's like, none of that even matters. It does matter. It matters. And so Jacayla is really just like, you know what? All you care about is yourself anyway. All you care about is working and doing what you want to do. And he's like, that is not true. That's not true at all. I take care of Sky. I used to take care of you. I paid the bills. I did all of this stuff and then some. And you're just sitting here just... And so here go Mama Maggie. Mama Maggie is trying to act like she's taking out the trash, but she really out here trying to see what's going on. And Mama Maggie, or Grandma Maggie rather, she sees Sky's items all on the front porch. And I think there's some more spectators here trying to see what the commotion is about as well. And Grandma Maggie is trying to tend to Sky. She's gonna allow these two to argue outside. Grandma Maggie is really disappointed right now in James, but her main focus right now is Sky. Oh, maybe Grandma Maggie is ready to put a fist in Jacayla's face too. These two really aren't going to resolve anything. They are going neck and neck at one another and just really infuriated with each other. I think that Jacayla really needs to realize what it is that she's doing to these men and how her actions have really played a huge part in all of this. Like, they're both just upset, just furious. I think they're gonna declare each other enemies. Like, yo, I just don't see them getting anywhere with this right now. She's going to leave Sky over here and allow Sky to visit with her father. so that she can cool off, and maybe she needs to go and talk to somebody else because homegirl, oh my goodness. So look at James. He flipped the script real fast. He's like, you know what, I'm not even worried about Jacayla. Let me tend to my daughter. My daughter is the world to me, and she is very stinky right now. His temperament is really trying to change because he realizes that they are out here arguing in front of their child, and he does not want Sky to witness none of this. So he's going to take Sky inside, and Jacayla is really just going to leave. Before Jacayla leaves, she wants to know whether or not James has actually been hooking up with the nanny this whole time, underneath her nose. And James is like, are you serious? Do you really think that I would screw the nanny while my daughter is in the freaking house? Like, do you think I'm nuts? And she's like, I don't know what you're capable of. I don't know what you do. And he's like, are you serious right now? You're the one that cheated on me in the beginning. You're the one that caused all of this. You're the one that was sleeping with Marcel. He's like, I wasn't even gone a freaking week and you're already hopping on another man's penis. Like, what are you talking about? Yo, I think that kind of just... I think that cut Jacayla really deep. So Jacayla has made it back home, and she's grabbed herself something to eat, but she's really not really, paying attention to it anyway. So her father, Zenarius, kind of noticed that she's been moping around. He also noticed that Sky is not with her. He's gonna ask her, what's going on, baby girl? Why are you so sad? Is everything okay? What's going on? I know you and James are really going through it, but what's going on? He's like, what happened? What's going on? Jacayla's kind of brushing it off, and it's kind of thinking, you know what, Dad, you wouldn't understand. It's nothing serious. And he's like, yes, I would understand. You need to talk to me. You're around here moping around. You got tears in your eyes. You're like you're about to cry. You're about to have a nervous breakdown. Like, what's going on with you, baby girl? You can talk to me. And Jacayla's like, I know, Dad, but I don't want you to judge me, and I don't want anybody looking at me differently, but I just have a lot going on, and I have a lot on my plate right now, and I think I need to really think some things through. And so he's like, okay, well, maybe I can help you think those things through, Jacayla. Isn't that what we're here for? Isn't that what we always do? We help you. And she's like, it's not like I'm back in school, this is bigger than university. Like, I'm an adult now. I'm a whole parent now. I'm trying to raise a little girl. And so he's like, what do you mean? I don't know anything about that. Did we not raise you? Did we not raise Cameron? Did we not raise Brandon, Brittany? And we have a whole foster system going on here. So what are you talking about? I don't know. So tell me, what is it that's going on with you? And so she's gonna be like, okay, Dad, it's a lot. I'm having a lot of issues going on right now. Okay, well, spill the beans. What's going on? And so she's kind of dancing around it because she doesn't want her dad really all in her business like that. And she doesn't want her dad to kind of look at her differently. So she's going to kind of tell him, well, Dad, okay, so it all started when I wasn't sure who the father of Sky was in the beginning. Me and Marcel, we have been friends since we were little kids. And what about him? And so Jacayla's like, okay, well, Marcel and I have had a sexual relationship for a very, very long time. And in fact, I lost my virginity to him, and I've always had very deep feelings for him. Zenarius has always suspected that Marcel and Jacayla, when they were younger, used to fool around sexually, but he tried to think that, not my baby girl. My baby girl wouldn't do anything like that. She's smart, and she wouldn't allow that in her life right now. So Zenarius is like, okay, so what does Marcel fit in all of this? Why are you so depressed? I broke up with Marcel to get with James, and then things didn't work out throughout university, and then I actually ended up cheating on James with Marcel. And he's like, whoa, this is a lot, Jacayla. That's not how your mom and I raised you. We didn't raise you to be a cheater. Like, come on now. I ended up finding out that I was pregnant. And so Zenarius is like, okay, but you knew that the father was James though. So And so Jacayla's like, well, I was kind of sleeping around with both of them. So this conversation is kind of difficult to have with her father. Zenaris is like, well, honey, you know dang on well you were supposed to be using protection with these men. Your body is a temple, and you should not have been, running around here sleeping with both of these men at the same time. What if they were doing the same thing with you? Like, what if James were, sleeping around with with 2 women and he didn't tell you? There's too many diseases out here, too many STDs and stuff like that. And luckily you didn't, catch any STDs or anything like that. And, Sky came out of it, but baby, you got to be more careful out here. And she's like, I know. I mean, he's like, I'm not saying that James got this or Marcel got that or whatever, but you really got to be careful out here. And, usually these men don't really care about you. So I had to have Marcel get a DNA test, help me to get a DNA test to determine whether or not it was his child or James's child. And so that's when I found out that it was actually James's child. And so Zenaris is like, whoa, so during the time that you was pregnant, you really didn't know? Zenaris is kind of taken aback. He's like, wow, so I really thought that you and James, knew that y'all were going to be parents and stuff like that. And so Jacayla's like, no, Dad, I didn't know. I was unsure. Did James know that it was a possibility that Marcel could have been the father? And she's like, well, yeah, he did. I eventually told him. Zenaris is like, okay, well, a lot is starting to come together now. He's starting to really understand, and a lot of puzzle pieces are starting to come together. My daughter was slick in a love triangle this whole time. They have not had this type of conversation in a very long time. Even though Jacayla is his daughter and is his eldest daughter, he's always felt like she can handle her own, but he forgets that, hey, she is a human being. Sometimes, we go through our dark moments and we have our bad times. Zenaris is trying to encourage Jacayla to maybe seek some therapy because she has a lot of things going on, and these 2 relationships, what's been really going on, has really shocked him. So Jacayla revealed to him how violent James has been. That kind of makes Zenaris feel a certain type of way. The fact that James has apparently put his hands on his daughter. He's also kind of upset at Jacayla for hiding this information from him for 2 years nearly. He's very protective of Jacayla, so he's just like, if he's going around beating up other guys over Jacayla and putting his hands on my daughter, then I need to have a talk with James, because Sky is over at James's house, and if James is really that violent, what if James gets mad at Sky one day and goes to start to spank Sky, and the spanking gets out of control, and then the spanking turns into a beating because he's frustrated? Like, it's clear as day that James has some anger issues, and it's clear as day is that Jacayla has some issues that she needs to resolve herself. Zenaris is encouraging his daughter to seek some therapy because he definitely feels like Jacayla could benefit from, talking to somebody outside of the family. Zenaris is quite disappointed, for lack of better words, at his daughter for the way that she's handling everything. They definitely have really instilled better values in their daughter, and the way that she's going about, and the way that she's treating these men, and the way that she's allowing these men to treat her and to use her body and stuff like that. He would have never guessed. Zenaris is also going to suggest that Jacayla talks to her mom about all of this, but Jacayla doesn't really want to tell Jamie about everything that's going on. Again, the kids feel way more comfortable with speaking to their father about all of their issues and stuff because they know that their mother holds a lot in, and how, she already has a lot of, baggage on her shoulders right now. I think this is definitely going to be the time of self-reflection for Jacayla. Jacayla tends to jump up and do things without thinking about the consequences of it. Jacayla tends to do things in the moment, like when she's all caught up in emotions and stuff, because that's what she's feeling like, especially whenever she had that sexual relation with Marcel in the shower the other day. Like, she was all caught up in the moment. That just was not a good look for her. That was not the best decision that she could have made. Mama Jefferson is over here putting their foster kiddo to bed, and Sky isn't here. She's gonna sleep right here in Sky's room, and I actually need to get another toddler bed. Lots of self-reflection for Jacayla. I think that I'm going to send Jacayla on maybe some type of retreat or something like that, because homegirl has a lot of issues that she needs to get out. I think that Jacayla also has some anger issues herself. It's not just James. I hate the fact that Jacayla is such a tit for tat type of person, because that really doesn't resolve anything. All it does is continue to build up more and more hurt for herself and the other party. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your continued support. Let me know what you all think about this episode. Let me know what you all think about Jacayla going over and dropping off Sky over at James's house. What do you all think about her going on a retreat? And actually, I think that one of my subscribers even suggested this. Thank you guys for all of the comments. A lot of you are really invested in this story, and so am I. Like, yo, I am very invested, and I do look at all of you all's comments, and I do take you guys' comments into consideration when I do play. As we dive a little deeper into this story and as we play along some more, I think that maybe we'll start to see some type of character development from Jacayla. I think there is something that really needs to happen to Jacayla for her to realize that, yo, you need to get a hold of yourself, homegirl. You need to get it together. You need to snap out of it. This whole self-righteous thing that you got going on, it's not going to do you any good, and the only person that you're harming is yourself, and in the long run you're harming your daughter as well. And I think that there's also I think also James really needs to get it together. I think he needs to get his anger under control. Again, thank you, family, so much. I appreciate y'all, each and every one of y'all. Until next time, bye.